Are you ready to replace 50 plus plugins with just one? Watch as I open Nexter extension dashboard. This is your all-in-one toolkit to supercharge any WordPress site. Now, before the video starts, let me give you a quick peek of everything that is packed inside. First up, we'll discuss about Theme Builder, how to instantly create custom headers, footers, single and archive pages, and even 404s and breadcrumbs with full control over where they appear. Next up, code snippets. Add PHP, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript anywhere. Manage active, inactive snippets and load code conditionally for peak performance. Move over to extra utilities. Here, we'll look at how to duplicate posts, bulk replace text and URLs, upload custom fonts, and brand your admin area. No extra plugins needed. Then there is performance and security. In performance, I'll showcase how to make use of self-host Google Fonts, disable unused image sizes, and fine-tune assets for a faster site. Whereas in security, we'll lock things down with enable 2FA, custom login URLs, content protection, and instant login alerts. And finally, even after all these things, don't you think we are done? As I'm the one who decides when the meeting is over. Just kidding. Watch this video till the end if you also want to find out which products it can be integrated with to improve your workflow. Now, you can say with all these features right here in one dashboard, Nexter extension will simplify, speed up, and protect your WordPress site like never before. Saying that, it's time to begin the video. Hey there, welcome to Pause. In this video, we are taking a full tour of the Nexter extension plugin, which, believe me or not, is packed with powerful features that can seriously level up your WordPress game. We'll walk through everything it offers, from creating custom headers and footers, adding code snippets easily, boosting your site's performance, tightening up security, and much more, and that too, all without directly altering your site's core files. Also, don't worry even if you're new to WordPress, as I'm going to keep everything beginner friendly and straightforward. A quick disclaimer, this isn't a site building tutorial. This is your complete overview of what Nexter extension can do, both in its free and pro versions. So by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to unlock its full potential and how each feature can fit right into your workflow. Now, are you ready to dive in? Let's get started. Alright, we are kicking things off with the Theme Builder, which is one of the coolest features of the Nexter extension plugin. Now this is where we can create a custom header and footer, so instead of sticking with whatever the theme gives us by default, we're gonna design our own website elements from scratch. Okay, beginning with the step 1, let's talk about accessing the Theme Builder. For it, head over to your WordPress dashboard and go to Nexter settings, then Theme Builder. Once you're in, you will see a list of different template types that you can create. There's headers, footers, single posts, archives, and many more. To start, just click on Add New Template and then a pop-up will appear. Next, here's what you need to do. In the Select Template drop-down, pick Header and give your template a name, something like Custom Main Header. Next, if there's an additional settings section showing up, feel free to explore those to tweak header specific options. Okay, here comes the header behavior settings, and you've got 3 options, which are normal, sticky, and normal plus sticky. Normal can scroll your page just like a regular header, whereas sticky stays hidden until you start scrolling. Then it sticks to the top. And at last, normal plus sticky is best for both. It's always visible and stays pinned at the top start to finish. For this demo, let's go with normal plus sticky so the header stays right up there no matter where we scroll. Also, you can see this transparent header toggle, which is for if you're planning a background image or slider right under your header, which can look great, but for now, let's leave it off. Once that's sorted, hit next. Now, just to show you how flexible Nexter is, when you're creating templates like header, you also get full control over where they appear onto your WordPress site. So, in the Display Conditions panel, you will see an Include In drop-down, and from here, you can target exactly where the header shows up. For example, selecting Entire Website will apply that header across every page. And if you wanted to, you could also exclude it from certain pages, like your blog, a landing page, or anything specific. It's super flexible, and the same kind of logic applies to all the other templates in the Theme Builder too. Now, once your template is created, it opens up inside your page editor. Normally, you'd use either the block editor or Elementor to build your header from scratch, but if you want to skip the blank canvas and save some time after installing the W Design Kit plugin, just click on its purple icon inside the editor like the one you're seeing on your screen and browse through a lot of ready-made headers. Choose the one you like and boom, it's added instantly. And then you just have to tweak it a little to fit with your site's style. Amazing, right? This saves you a ton of time, gives you professionally built layout, and you can always tweak it later to match your brand. Now, if you're someone who prefers to build from scratch or wants more flexibility, here are two more options worth checking out. First one is Next to Blocks. If you're using Gutenberg, install this add-on to unlock more advanced blocks, especially for navigation menus. Second one is the Plus add-ons for Elementor. If Elementor is your go-to option, this toolkit gives you powerful design widgets, sticky effects, mega menu, and way more control over your design. So, depending on which editor you are using, you can either import a header with W Design Kit or design one from scratch using these two powerful tools. Either way, let me tell you, you are going to be in full control. Now, once you're happy with how it looks, click on Publish to save your header and next, open your homepage in a new tab to preview it live. Looking nice. But do you notice anything? Yes, your new custom header has taken over, and because we chose the sticky option earlier, it will stay visible even as you scroll. Saying that, voila, just like that, you've got yourself a fully customized global header without writing a single line of code. Now that we have built our custom header, let's take a quick peek at what else the Next theme builder can help us customize. These next options works exactly like the header. You create them, set conditions and design them your way. So let's go through each of them one by one. First up is the footer. You can design a custom footer that shows across your entire site or even set different ones for specific pages, whether it's contact info, copyright text, navigation links or widgets. You can completely match your site's vibe without being limited by the default footers. Next up is the 404 page. Now, instead of showing that plain lifeless page not found message when someone hits a broken link, you can design something branded and helpful. Think about it, you could add a friendly message, maybe a button that links back to your homepage or your latest blog post, which is going to be super useful for keeping people engaged even when they land in the wrong spot. Now, let's talk about single post page templates. This one lets you take full control over how individual blog posts or standard pages look. Think of it like this. Instead of designing each post or page manually, you can build one custom template that defines how everything is going to look. Where the featured image goes, where there's a sidebar, how the content is structured, and even little details like author info or metadata. So, once that template is in place, every new post or page automatically follows that same layout, saving you time and keeping your site's design consistent. You can use this for blog posts, your about page, contact page, or pretty much anything that needs a custom repeatable design. And of course, you're building this all visually, so no need to touch a single line of code. Moving forward, there is this archive page. This includes all your blog listing pages, category archives, tag archives, even search results. You can fully customize how your posts appear in a grid or list, what metadata shows, what spacing feels right, and basically how your content gets displayed in bulk. And finally, we've got the breadcrumb tray. This little navigation helper shows your visitors exactly where they are on the site and lets them jump back a level quickly. Especially useful on sites with deep page hierarchies or blogs with categories, plus it can be styled to match your site's theme perfectly. So yeah, Nexter gives you the power to design literally every core layout of your WordPress site. We've talked about headers, footers, post templates, archives, and much more. And that too all from one single place. Easy to manage, easy to update, and 100% customizable. Next, we are moving into something that every WordPress user ends up needing at some point. That is adding custom code safely, and that too without messing with theme files or breaking your site. Alright, this one's a game changer. You know, sometimes you want to add a little custom code to your site maybe a Google Analytics script, a bit of CSS to tweak the design, or even a PHP function to extend functionality. Now, usually this means that you have to do extra work like editing theme files or installing yet another plugin just for a small tweak. But here's a relief. With the Nexter's code snippet features, you can do it all right inside your dashboard, and that too with safety and smartly. Now, let me show you how it works. First, head over to Nexter settings in the side panel, and below it, click on Code Snippets. Now this will bring up the Code Snippets Manager. To create a new one, click on Create New, and next you will see a simple form where you can set everything up. First, give your snippet a name, something like Google Analytics script or custom footer CSS. Let me tell you that this is just for your reference, so keep it clear and descriptive, especially if you will be adding more snippets later. Now, right beside that, you will find a toggle switch from where you can activate or deactivate the snippet. And the best part, you can turn it on or off anytime without having to delete anything, which is super handy if you're just testing or need to pause a snippet temporarily. Next up, from here, you can choose the type of snippet from the drop-down. You've got 4 options that are PHP, CSS, JavaScript, and HTML. This simply tells WordPress how to handle the code. Now, here's a quick rundown. Like for instance, if you want to add a code related to analytics tracking script, you're probably gonna use HTML or JavaScript. If you want to make style changes, definitely CSS. And if you're interested in making custom functionality change, you will pick PHP. And most frequently, creators who are majorly interested in making small CSS tweaks, so then without a doubt, you can go with CSS. Now, once you choose your snippet type, a code editor will be present right below to enter the snippet. Now, you just need to paste or write your code right into this editor box. Here, let me also inform you that if you're writing CSS or JavaScript, just drop the code in as it is. But if it's HTML, you can include full tags or scripts. Additionally, for PHP, you don't even need to add the PHP tag. Just paste the function and Nexter handles all of this for you without any hassle. Example, a CSS snippet would look something like this. Alright, it looks nice. Okay. Now, depending on your snippet type, Nexter also gives you option to decide where the code runs. With that said, it's time to break down how you can control where your code snippets run using the Nexter extension. Firstly, let me tell you that it's pretty straightforward and gives you a lot of flexibility. For PHP snippets, on selecting frontend, this means your PHP code will execute on the parts of your website that visitors see and interact with. Now, choosing this option runs your PHP in the WordPress admin area, affecting the dashboard and other administrative sections. And if you want your PHP code to run on both the public-facing site and the admin area, this is the option you should be going for. Now, this flexibility allows you to tailor where your PHP code impacts your site, ensuring it runs exactly where it's needed. Now, moving ahead to CSS and JavaScript snippets, by default they're gonna run on the front end only, because they directly influence the design and behavior that your visitors experience. JavaScripts are typically placed just before the closing of the body tag, the placement of which allows the main content of your page to load first. That can help with faster page rendering and better user experience. Whereas in CSS, your styles are added to the head section of your site's HTML, which ensures that the styles are applied as the page loads, so everything looks just right from the get-go. Okay, let me give you a bonus point that Nexter even has conditional loading. So, if you ever want a snippet to run only on certain pages, that is possible too. For now, we'll just let our CSS apply site-wide. Almost there, and before saving, there is a little section where you can add tags or notes. This is super helpful when you have multiple snippets. For example, in description, I'm adding creates a responsive footer layout with logo, text and right-aligned social icons styled for clean presentation. Here, tag I'm gonna add as footer, and once you've filled in all the details just like me, simply go ahead and hit on create. Alright, coming back to the list view, you can see your snippet marked as active, and now it has successfully started working the right way. So now that we have got the code snippets clear, let me show you something cool in action. It's a simple little PHP tweak, nothing too fancy, but you will see how it works immediately. Here on entering, after renaming the snippet, make sure PHP is selected from this drop down. Now, I've added a PHP snippet that will change the Howdy Kunal in the top right corner of the admin panel to Hey Kunal instead. So, isn't this a nice little touch? But this way, you will see how smoothly code snippets affects the backend too. Now, we'll move ahead and add a tag, say WP admin. And in the description I'll add here is this code will replace the howdy to hello in the WP backend. Next, we'll move ahead and click on create. And finally, watch this. When I return to the code snippets webpage, you can see the code effect in action. Now, moving ahead, let's discuss why this feature is so handy. And here's the real magic. You don't need to touch functions.php. No need for extra header or footer plugins. And lastly, no stress about breaking your site with the wrong code. Also, by chance, even if you mess something up, Nexter won't crash your site immediately. It simply disables the snippet and keeps your site safe. So, tell me, isn't that peace of mind right there? Especially if you're experimenting or just learning. Alright, now that we have added some useful functionality with code snippets, let's move forward. Just a quick note, here in the dashboard, if you haven't already installed the Nexter theme, you will see an install theme button. Click on that first, and once it's activated, you will also notice that the customizer settings becomes accessible directly from here as well. That, earlier how you used to do it, go to the side panel, appearance, and then customize, and then it gets open. But from here, now you have a redefined and direct way. So, if you want a complete walkthrough of all the theme settings like global colors, typography, logos, container spacing, and many more, make sure to check out that video. I'll leave the link for you in the description below. Okay, so we've done all the designing. Now, let's talk efficiency. The utilities section inside the Nexter extension is like your personal assistant. It gives you tools that simplify repetitive tasks, speed up setup, and give you more control, all without extra plugins. To access them within the Nexter settings, click Utilities. Now let's explore the most powerful options that are present here. Alright, starting off, if you want beautiful high quality fonts without the hassle, Nexter integrates directly with Adobe Fonts, giving you instant access to a massive font library. Now, let me show you how to set it up. First, toggle this switch on and then click on this gear icon. Next, a pop-up will show up within the input field of which you've got to paste the project ID. So, for that, head over to Adobe Fonts official website. Here log in and then do the following process as shown on the screen. Now, we will be copying the project ID, come back, paste that into the Adobe Fonts field in Nexter, hit save, and that's done. Now go to Appearance, Customize, then Typography, and here as you can see, your Adobe fonts which are imported just now are ready to use without any coding and uploading. Now, moving ahead, in case you've got your own custom font that's not available anywhere, no problemo. Nexter lets you upload it directly. Now here's what you need to do. In the Utilities panel only, find Custom Fonts Upload. Next, toggle it on and click Upload Fonts. In the pop-up, hit Add New Font. Upload your font files that you would be having in .wof, .ttf or .otf formats. Then give your fonts a name, click on Add Fonts, and lastly, hit on Save. That's it. Now, head over to Customize, then Typography, and here, as you can see, our uploaded font is available to be applied all across the different sections of your site. Which is great if you need to keep your site's branding consistent, especially if you use a unique typeface for your brand. Okay, now let me ask you this. Have you ever had to update a bunch of links or change a phrase across your whole site? So instead of doing it manually, Nexter solves this problem. It gives you a replace URL and text tool that handles it in one go. How to use it? Turn on this replace URL and text toggle present here only within Utilities. Next, click on the gear icon beside it, and now for URLs, enter the old URL here and the new URL here. Also, for text, you've got to follow the same process, that is, enter the existing phrase and the new one you want to replace it with. After that, check this case sensitive box if you think the replacement should distinguish between uppercase and lowercase letters. Next up, enable this if you need to replace GUIDs, which are typically necessary when changing URLs. Moving on, search limit here lets you set a limit for the number of database rows to search here, which is useful for large databases to prevent timeouts. Next, scroll down, and now you have to go ahead and make sure you've chosen the right database here before proceeding. Why is that? Well, if you don't select a database, the search won't be performed anywhere. So add this into your checklist and do this without fail. And lastly, once you have configured all your settings, it's wise to perform a dry run first. This will simulate the replacement process and show you how many instances of the old text exist without making actual changes. After this is completed, I recommend you to review the results carefully, and if everything looks good, click on confirm to execute the replacement, and that is going to be set. Now, before moving ahead, just to give you an idea that this is the kind of thing which is super useful when you are doing stuff like migrating your site, changing your domain, rebranding, or even updating common phrases like replacing Elementor with Nextr. This will simulate the replacement process and show you how many instances of the old text exist without making actual changes. Alright, moving ahead, if there is a need to create multiple versions of a product page, service layout, or blog post, this tool here lets you duplicate content in bulk, and that too without starting from scratch every time. To do it, in the settings panel, you have several options to customize, which decide if all users or only the original author can duplicate content. Then comes post author, which lets you choose whether the duplicated content should attribute the original author or the current user. Next up is post date, and through it, you can set the duplicated content to retain the original date or update to the current date. Moving on to post status, this will help you in defining the status of the duplicated content such as draft, published, or pending reviews. Talking about the post fixed text next, through which you can add custom text to append to the title of the duplicated content for easy identification. And lastly, there is slug text, that is for if you want to specify custom text to append to the URL slug of the duplicated content. This option is going to be useful. After configuring your preferences, click on save to apply changes, and done. Now, it's time to see how it works in real time. To witness this, head over to posts and hover over any created posts up here. Now, you can see there is an additional duplicate post option appearing. And next, all you have to do is input the number of duplicates you want for the post. And once that's done, just click on duplicate to generate them. Set. And just like that, the copies are generated, all ready to customize. Now, moving ahead, let me ask you a question. Have you ever tried changing your theme or image sizes recently? Well, then you must have experienced that sometimes images don't scale right. They look either stretched or pixelated. Well, that's where our next tool shines. Yes, I'm talking about regenerate thumbnails. Just toggle it on, and now Nextr will refresh every image based on your current size settings. No need to re-upload anything. All images automatically will get updated and optimized behind the scenes. Amazing, right? And that was all with the utilities section. Each of these tools is designed to save you tons of time, simplify routine tasks, and streamline your WordPress workflow without the need of any code or any third-party plugin clutter. Next up, we're getting into performance tweaks to help you speed up your site and cut the bloat. Alright, we all know this. A fast website is a better website, not just for visitors but also for SEO, as Google loves speed. So let's dive into Nextr's performance module, where you can apply smart one-click optimizations that reduces load time and clean up unnecessary bloat. Here, as you can see, there is a fresh list of toggles present, and trust me, these tiny switches can make a huge difference. So let's go through them, and starting off with the options, which will let you disable emojis, disable embeds, and disable dash icons. Through disable emojis, let me inform you that WordPress loads an emoji script for older browser. So if you don't care about that, just toggle it on, and this will improve your website loading time. Next up, disable embeds. This blocks the extra JavaScript used for embedding posts across sites. If you are interested in not embedding WordPress posts into other pages, turn it on. Then comes disable dash icons. These are the little icon fonts used in the admin panel. They also load on the front end for logged in users, so if you don't need them, toggle this on. Now, moving ahead, let me tell you that your site's head section often includes a bunch of meta tags that you might never use. So, in order to clean that up, we've got three important options that are remove RSD link, remove WLVW manifest link, and remove short link. These are legacy tags that aren't really needed for modern WordPress sites. So, why not keep clean headers, as it will directly implies better performance and even slightly better security. Also, if you're not using RSS feeds, it's recommended best to disable them. But if your audience subscribes to your blog, you might want to keep this one off. Now, let's talk about some extra requests that happen just because WordPress is being overly helpful. Here's how to stop them. First one, disable self-pingbacks. Have you ever seen a comment saying you link to your own post? Yeah, that's a self-pingback. You can turn that off right from here. Next up, disable password strength meter. This script loads even on pages where passwords aren't involved, like checkout pages, so if you don't need it, toggle it on to save resources. Lastly, mentioning defer CSS and JavaScript, which delays non-critical assets from loading immediately, helping your page load faster. And also, just be cautious as it might affect how some elements load. So I recommend you to test it carefully before applying globally. Now, the next part is going to get a bit more advanced, as we are going to talk about the toggles which are used to optimize asset loading. But you know how I roll, everything will be explained in a beginner-friendly tone. So let's begin with disable comments, which is useful if your site doesn't want a comment system, especially for corporate or landing page sites. Just turn this on and reduce spam plus script load. Next up, disable image sizes. Understanding about it, sometimes themes or plugins generate tons of image sizes you never actually use. So, by turning this on, you can toggle off those extra sizes to save storage. Now, if you do need specific image sizes for design reasons, you can add or control them from right here, making use of this register custom image sizes toggle. Okay, moving ahead, out of the blue, one day let's say you decide not using Font Awesome or any other icon libraries. So, how to deal with it? Simple. Click on this gear icon beside disable icons and turn these toggles on as per your convenience. Simple. Alright, lastly, let's talk fonts, as they might look great, but if not handled the right way, they can actually slow your site down. So, instead of pulling fonts from Google's server every time, this option here lets you host them right on your own server. That means faster load times. Plus, it helps you stay on the safer side of things where it comes to GDPR compliance. Next up, within the Google fonts only, we've got the display swap option, which solves that annoying flash of invisible text issue. Basically, it shows fallback fonts while your main font is still loading, so your visitors aren't staring at a blank screen for no reason. Also, if you're someone who wants to go all in on system fonts, you can simply turn them off from right here. But honestly, in most cases, self-hosting is that sweet middle ground which is faster, reliable, and just works. Now, for your information, all these optimizations take effect right away. So, use tools like GTmetrix, Pingdom Tools, or Google PageSpeed Insights. Also, try testing it before and after enabling these settings, as you will likely see fewer HTTP requests, faster load times, and cleaner source code. Saying that, this wraps up the performance section. And now, if you have applied any of these settings, your site should now feel snappier, lighter, and cleaner. Saying that, let's lock things down with security enhancements. Alright, when it comes to running a website, performance is great, but security is non-negotiable. Good thing, Nexters got us covered with 6 powerful tools that harden your WordPress site without needing extra plugins or complex setups. So let's begin to break it all down, and we are starting with advanced security. This one is like your all-in-one security switchboard. Click this little gear icon next to advanced security and you will see a list of smart toggles that you can enable or disable, each one helping tighten things up behind the scenes. Now, here's what you can do with them. With Disable XML RPC, you can block old remote access methods that hackers love to exploit. Disable REST API locks down any unwanted external requests from poking around your site, and then comes Disable File Editor, which removes that built-in theme plugin editor in WordPress. So, no editor or no sneaky code injections. Now, talking about the Hide WordPress version, This one lets you keep your WordPress version private, so attackers can't target known vulnerabilities. Then moving on, remove REST API links and meta generator. If you will click on this toggle, it's a command to clean up those unnecessary meta tags that are present in your header. Next, enable XSS protection. Adds a browser level safety net against cross-site scripting attacks. Then enable secure cookies. Make sure cookies are sent safely over HTTPs. And lastly, talking about hardened iframe security, controls who can embed your content in an iframe, preventing harmful attacks like click jacking. Now, once you have toggled everything based on your needs, go ahead and hit on this save button, and just like that, your site will be harder to mess with. Okay, now I'm gonna do a sneaky little move, but believe me, it's super effective. You know how every WordPress site uses /wp admin, right? And so do bots and attackers. And if we somehow change that login URL to something unique, it will make it way harder to even find your login screen. Great idea, isn't it? I know, thank me later. Now, let me show you how to do it. Click on this gear icon next to custom login URL. Type in your custom slug like /mylogin, then click on save and it will be done. Now, the /wp admin won't work anymore. So, it's super important that you make sure you save the new login URL somewhere safe, so later on if you forget that what was the text that I wrote in the place of WP admin, you will find that easily. Alright, moving ahead to the next option in here, that is content protection. If you don't want people right-clicking, copying or dragging your content off your site, this one's for you. Click on the gear icon next to content protection, and here you will find a bunch of helpful options that you can toggle. First one is disable right-click, which stops people from saving images or copying text easily. Disable drag and drop prevents them from pulling images straight to their desktop. Then comes disable dev tools hotkeys, which blocks shortcuts like F12 or Ctrl Shift I from opening inspect tools. After that, let's talk about disable search hotkeys. This one stops users from using Ctrl F or Command F to scan through your content. And lastly, through this disable Ctrl C and Command C, even the copy command can be blocked. Just enable the ones you want, then click on save, and it will be simple as that. Now, if you want to keep bots out of your login, registration and comments form, the CAPTCHA security feature is here to rescue. To set it up, click the gear icon next to CAPTCHA. Choose between Google reCAPTCHA or Cloudflare Turnstile. At the moment, Cloudflare Turnstile isn't introduced, so reCAPTCHA is the only go-to option. Here, you need to paste in your site key and secret key from Google, which is, you might be wondering that how to get them. So let me show you. Head towards your URL section and type google.com/reCAPTCHA/admin/create. Now, after you land here, in this label field, enter a name for your reCAPTCHA, such as your domain name for easy identification. And next, under reCAPTCHA type, select reCAPTCHA version 3. After that, in the domain section, you need to input your website's domain name. In my case, it would be tutorials.positive.com without HTTP or HTTPS. Also, here as you can see, you can add multiple domains if needed. Now, to obtain our keys, click on submit, and that's it. As you can see, our site and secret keys have been generated. Next, all you have to do is return to the WordPress backend and paste each key from that web page into their respective sections here, one by one. And then after that, you just have to choose where you want it to appear, like a login form, registration form, comments form, and etc. And on scrolling down, these are also coming soon. So, since now there's nothing left, let's hit on this save button and then you will be good to go. That's it. We have successfully set up reCAPTCHA onto our site. Okay, now moving ahead, this one adds an extra verification step when users log in. Especially great if you've got multiple users or admins. So let me now show you how to set up two-factor authentication. Click on the gear icon next to its name. Choose which user roles should be required to use 2FA. Customize the email subject and message users receive. And finally, click on save. Voila! Now, whenever someone logs in, they will need to complete the second step, adding a solid layer of protection on top of the usual password. Set! Now that we have enabled 2FA, let's set it up for a user. For it, go to Users, then all users, and here select the user to edit their profile. Now scroll down to the two-factor option section, and here you will find 3 authentication methods. First up, there is the email method. When you log in, you will receive a verification code directly in your inbox. It's straightforward and doesn't require any additional apps. Next up, we've got the authenticator app method. This involves linking your site with an authenticator app like Google Authenticator. And after scanning the QR code or entering the key here, the app generates time-based codes for you to use during login. It's a secure and safe option that doesn't rely on email. Lastly, there is also this recovery code method. This is your backup plan. Through it, you can generate a set of recovery codes beforehand and use them when you are unable to access your primary authentication methods. Each code here can be used only once, so it's a good idea to keep them safe and handy. Now remember, you can enable all of these methods simultaneously and choose your preferred primary method. So, it's all about flexibility and ensuring you have the access when you need it the most. For now, to use the email method, I'll click the corresponding checkbox, then scroll down and click on this update profile to save the changes. A quick note, after saving, ensure that your WordPress site is configured to send emails properly, because without proper email configuration, the verification codes might not be delivered. It's recommended to set up SMTP, that is called Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, to handle outgoing emails reliably. That's it. You've successfully enabled and configured two-factor authentication in Nexter. Now, whenever this user logs in, he will need to complete the second step, adding a solid layer of protection on top of the usual password. Alright, after 2FA, let's discuss login email notification, which is useful if you want to keep an eye on login activity. This one sends you an email every time someone logs in, which is great for spotting anything suspicious. To enable it, click the gear icon next to login email notification, choose which user roles should receive the alerts, optionally add IP addresses to exclude like yours so you're not spammed basically, and then customize the email, subject and message. And lastly, hit on save. Set. Now, every time a login happens, you will get a notification about it at that exact moment. With that said, this is a wrap-up time for your security toolkit inside Nexter. No need for 5 different plugins, everything built right in, and you've got full control. Enable what you need, tweak what matters, and your site becomes safer in just a few clicks. Alright, moving ahead, let's talk about something that is super useful, especially if you're building sites for clients or just want a clean distraction-free dashboard for yourself. Now, we're inside the admin interface section of Nexter. You will find it under Nexter settings, admin interface in the WordPress dashboard, and here let me tell you that this area gives you total control over what shows up into your WordPress backend. Here, we're gonna start by clicking on this gear icon next to disable admin settings. That's gonna open up a pop-up with a bunch of helpful toggles. Now, let's go through them one by one. First up is for, that black bar that sticks at the top of your site when you're logged in. Yes, this. In case you don't want it, just toggle this hide front-end admin bar on and refresh the page. After that, the next thing, you will notice that it will be gone completely. Very cool. Now, moving ahead, if you're tired of those little orange circles screaming at you about updates, flip this on and they will be disappeared, quiet and clean. Also, plugins love to throw banners across the top of your dashboard. This hide admin notices toggle turns them all off, which feels like decluttering your workspace in one single click. Now, you know that welcome box you always cross out on the dashboard? Yeah, this one. Just toggle this switch on once and never see it again. Pretty neat. Talking about the hide theme update notifications toggle next, this will let you keep the updates visible only when you actually need them for themes. Then comes hide core update notifications, which hides WordPress version update nags. If you prefer manual updates or don't want clients messing with them, just toggle this switch on and forget about it. And lastly, there is remove PHP update required notice. This one is pretty self-explanatory. If you're already on the top of your server stuff, you can turn this notice off too. Alright, once you have set all your preferences, just hit that blue save button and your dashboard instantly will get less noisy and way easier to work in, which is great for client sites and awesome for your sanity. Now let's talk branding. This is where things are going to get really fun, my friend, because Nexter lets you completely white label the backend. For it, here only in the admin interface section, navigate towards branded WP admin, toggle it on, then click on this gear icon to open up the customization panel. Here, you can make your login page feel 100% yours, no more generic WordPress branding. Now, let's break it down. Layout is for form positioning. Center it, push it left, right, totally your call. Also, using background, you can either go with solid color, pick something that matches your brand, or upload a custom image of your choice. Now, coming to the form, you've got a lot of controls here. Upload a custom logo, set the logo width so it fits perfectly, add a URL to the logo, maybe your site homepage, and then let's move ahead to form box. Alright, I'm seeing this to set width and padding. Then there is a section to add a background color, and if you want to throw in a border and shadow, you can do that as well by using these layered card effect, and that is pretty much all in here. Now, next one is field. So from here you can customize fonts, colors and sizes for input fields, backgrounds and borders for both normal and focus states, and further from here we can even style the login button with hover effects. So that was pretty much all in here. And yep, before we wrap up this section, don't forget to check out the footer text like lost your password. Yes, you are right. That is stylable too. This shows how the Nexter team has paid attention to even the tiniest details. Even elements like labels and buttons are fully customizable, ensuring everything stays consistent with your branding. After these, when you're done styling it all out, you can just go ahead and click on this save button, and next, the login page wouldn't just be functional, but will also look like your product. So, whether it's for clients or your own projects, this alone is capable enough to give it a super professional finish. And just like that, your backend is cleaner, your login screen is branded, and you have already made your client probably think like, dang, this looks custom built. Next up, let's now move forward and wrap this series with a quick overview of extra tools plus partner products that extend Nexter even further. Okay, starting off with the rollback plugin section here. This one's really handy if you ever run into an issue with a plugin update and want to go back to a previous version. Once you click here, this will extend the drop-down from where you can pick from the older versions of the Nexter extension free versions. For example, I can see option going all the way back to 3.0.2. So, all you have to do is pick the version you want, click that blue rollback button on the top right, and you're all set. Also, just make sure to take a backup of your site before rolling back, because once done, it's not reversible unless you manually update again. As you can also see a warning at the top exactly for that. Moving on to the white label section, this one's perfect for freelancers or agencies who don't want to show their clients the original Nexter branding. Here, you can completely rebrand the theme and even the plugin areas. You can set your own brand name, give it a custom theme title, and even describe it as you want. And right below, there are also spaces to add your agency name, website URL, upload your own logo, and a theme screenshot. Then, further on, you can rename the plugin name too, along with changing its description, both for free and pro versions right here. Additionally, just in case you want to completely hide the original settings, there's even a force disable toggle at the bottom. Once enabled, the original options will vanish. So, to bring them back, you will need to deactivate and reactivate this plugin. Alright, so you've seen how powerful Nexter extension is on its own. But did you know it also connects with a bunch of other awesome tools too to supercharge your workflow even more? Yes, you heard it right. For that, let's take a quick look at what's available inside the More Products panel right here. This section gives you shortcuts to premium add-ons and companion tools that work seamlessly with the Nexter extension plugin. So let's take a quick look at the list here real quick. First up is Nexter WP theme. This one is the foundation. If you're already using the Nexter theme, it will show as activated here, just like it is showing up here. But if not, you can install it right away from this panel only. It's designed to work hand in hand with the Nexter extension, and it's lightweight, fast and fully customizable, which is great starting point for any project. Moving on, in case you are using the default WordPress block editor, You will love this Nexter blocks, as it gives you a library of ready-made sections, patterns and design blocks that you can drop right into your pages, which is perfect for building beautiful layouts without a page builder. Just click on install and activate and you will be good to go. Now, if Elementor is your builder of choice, this is your toolkit. Has the plus add-ons for Elementor, gives you advanced widgets, animations, templates and literally everything you need to build high-end websites with Elementor. In case it's already installed, you will see it marked as active, but if not, this panel makes it easy to grab. Alright, next up, WDesign Kit. This one's a beast, my friend. It gives you access to templates, pre-built widgets, cloud-based content saving and syncing, and you can also import full pages with just a few clicks or save your own custom sections to reuse across different projects. It's super handy if you build a lot of website, and if you want to move fast, this one should be your go-to option. Now, talking about UI Chemie, this one is for all my designer friends out there. With UI Chemie, you can literally take your Figma designs and convert them into a fully functional WordPress website. You want to design something visually, perform some steps, click convert and boom, WordPress layout ready. It bridges the gap between design and development beautifully and without any hassle. And that's it for the more product section. You're not just getting a theme or a plugin, you're stepping into an entire ecosystem that's built to help you go from idea to execution faster and easier. And there we go. You made it to the end. We've covered everything inside the Nexter extension plugin, saw how to build a custom header from scratch, explored other theme builder templates, added code snippets safely, cleaned up the admin, locked down security, boosted performance, looked at how to rebrand the login page, and there was a lot more. So, whether you're a beginner building your first site or an agency handing off polished client projects, Nexter extension gives you the tools to do it all from one single place. Now, if this video helped you, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe and ring the bell icon so you don't miss future tutorials on this tool like this. Additionally, feel free to drop your questions and thoughts in the comments below, and hey, if there's a feature that you want us to dive deeper into, just let me know. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay creative and happy website building.